Alright, so in this video, we're going to be talking about 10 things that we wish we knew before headed to Isla Mujeres, Mexico. We're going to get right into it. Let's go to number 1. And that is what? Leave early on the ferry, because trust me, you want to spend as much possible time that you can at Isla Mujeres, Mexico. It's one of the best places to actually go if you're in the Cancun region. Trust me on this one. Who did we take over there, though?
It was so pretty. We went on, Xcaret, and the ferry was really nice. I know there's another ferry that you can take there, but we found like the Xcaret one was really nice. It was clean, it was modern, and it was just really nice. And don't be scared to go inside, because on those hot days, we thought that the inside was like first class or something like that, but anybody could go inside the ferry. So you could go to inside. All right, number 2, please, 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 I cannot stress this enough, shop around for golf carts. When you get off, you're going to be like, everybody's gonna be coming at you. Hey, you want a golf cart? You want a golf cart? One thing I can tell you is if you keep walking, and we'll try to insert the clip of where we went, but if you keep walking, there are gonna be so many other golf carts, and the prices are going to vary. But you gotta do your job. You gotta kind of negotiate and be like, no, I'm gonna keep going. And once we did that, I can't remember. I think we paid I want to say $80 for the golf cart.
I
can't remember, but it was a lot cheaper than the first one that we saw. When you come into the port, there's going to be like this lady, or not a lady, but there are going to be people there holding up this little poster, and you're going to think, oh, I should just get it now. But trust me, if you keep walking, there's like a bank, and it's on the right-hand side, and you go there, and you're going to rent a golf cart there, and it was a lot cheaper than the other ones. And they were nice. They wasn't, like, there's no new fancy ones. So that's what we were like walking around trying to find like the best one, and they all look the same.
Yeah, they definitely all look the same. And also the people are really friendly. So even if you don't go with them, they'll probably just say, hey, try him over there.
Yeah.
But it's all about the friendliness that we liked over there. So
all right.
Let's move to number 3. Number 3, to rent a golf cart. And oh man, I wish I knew this. You do need your license and a major credit card, similar to you renting a vehicle here in the United States or in the States. But the thing is that I wish I really knew was that they actually keep your driver's license as collateral to make sure that you return a golf cart. Well, at least where we went.
Yeah.
And we weren't too familiar with this because, again, we just thought that just pay for it and keep going. But that is a way for them to just say, hey, we have your license. At least we know that you're going to bring it back, or you're just not going to ditch it somewhere, take a cab back and hop back on the ship and we have to go find it. But it wasn't until we went to another island that we realized that is something that's actually common, to where they actually hold it inside their clipboard, and when you come back, they return it. But had I known, I just didn't know it at the time. And luckily, Chase did speak Spanish, and he was able to talk with the attendant that was there. And he explained, hey, this is just something that we do. It's across the board. But before we went, I wish I knew this.
Yeah.
Definitely wish I knew this,
Now, number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4. Don't go to the first beach.
Oh
okay.
my gosh.
Now,
don't go to the first beach. Yeah.
The first beach, especially if you have kids, especially if you're anyone, the first beach is not where it's at.
No.
You're going to see when you go down the strip to the left, right? There's going to be a beach, and there's going to be a bunch of different restaurants. Now, that is like spring break. Okay? Like spring break, that's what you're going to be seeing over there.
What you consider spring break?
I consider it like spring break, like a look party, like, you getting down.
I'm sorry.
If you know, yes. Yeah. And if you have kids, that's not where you want to be.
No.
But that's just not the best beach. All right, I'm going to say, what is it, Playa Norte?
Playa Norte, or most people say Paradise Beach. But when you got the golf cart, you literally just ask them, hey, what's the way to Paradise Beach? They'll point you. You really can't get lost because it's kind of one road that goes that way. But for the most part, when we did get our golf cart, we asked the attendant, and we were actually able to pull it up on Google Maps. And we just Google mapped over there. But that beach was beautiful. And also, it was hardly anyone there, at least the time that we went.
So pretty.
The sand was perfect. The water was perfect. It was literally perfect.
Yeah, I wish what we would have did first was that as soon as we got off the ferry, found something to eat, then went over to the beach, because then our kids were like, we're so hungry, and we had to leave the beach. But the water over there is absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Now, I will tell you one thing. You need to bring, and this goes into our next tip, bring a good beach towel. So we have like these beach towels that we love. Yes, I bought the beach towel. We love these. We're not trying to get you to buy them, but what we love about them is they roll up really easy in our bag, but they dry really quick. Now, while you're over at the beach, the chairs are so far back. So they're really far back from the water. They're kind of by the restaurants. So it's kind of like, do I want to like leave all my stuff all the way back there and then go to the beach we didn't feel comfortable doing that. And we weren't even in the chairs because the water was just that nice that we wanted to stay in the water the whole time. So I will suggest to you, bring a good towel that you could just roll up in your bag, keep it moving, and then just enjoy the water. And then, and bring some snacks so that, if you are going to stay over there, you can just eat something and have a good time over there. Because the water was so nice. But the sand, oh my God.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool. Nice.
The moving to number 6, the restaurants. And I want to touch on the restaurants. So when you get off if you're taking a cruise, you get out the terminal after you've gotten off the ferry itself. There are a ton of restaurants on the main strip, especially where you get in a golf cart, and they're okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but I would say they're a little bit more commercialized, being that there's a lot of tourists that's getting off the ferry, and that's the main strip, and it's the first thing they actually see. I do recommend, even if you got the golf cart, to be honest, even if you didn't have the golf cart, to start walking down the blocks just a little bit, because you're going to find some really great restaurants. And honestly, after we ate at the restaurant that we ate at and we started walking around, actually just driving around, we started seeing all of these other restaurants. And the food was so authentic. When we were just walking by the different tourists that were out there and they were eating, we were like, man, I wish we would have came down here. So that's kind of one thing that we would definitely say. Again, the restaurants on the strips, they're okay. But the restaurants down the alleys and down the side streets, and I don't even want to really call them alleys because there were just like different side streets and stuff like that we were going down at. There was residences out there, and it was like, look, we should just get out and just try down somewhere else.
Yeah,
Trust me.
And that brings me to number 7. Get off the golf cart and walk around. We saw a lot of people just going back and forth with the golf carts. And it's exciting to have the golf cart. It's fun, especially you have kids, they want to ride around. But like Jason said, if you get off that golf cart and you start walking around, I'll say like going through the alleyways, it was like, remind me like kind of in New York, Little Italy. Like how it reminded me just of that. But in Mexico,
that is actually perfect.
Yeah, so it reminded me, it looked like Little Italy with like the tables outside and the little restaurants, but you won't know that because it's on these other streets and you might kind of be scared like, oh, I don't want to walk down these streets, but it's so pretty back there.
It is beautiful.
And when I tell you, the food smelled amazing and it was just so cute. You saw like these little cafes, they were just people cooking. Oh, it was lovely. I was so mad that we ate the other food. Again, we just got like chicken tenders. It was really commercialized, like, for tourists. But on the other side would have been a lot better. And don't be scared to walk around. Go get your souvenirs over there. They were a lot cheaper on that side as well. We would walk around. We bought our little ornament, and we just had a great time.
Yeah. And speaking of souvenirs, and number 8 is what we really want to talk about, is make sure you bring cash, because cash is one of the things that you will need to have when you're going to get different souvenirs. We can't tell you how many restaurants, still on a restaurant. I can't tell you how many stores that we actually walked into, and they say, hey, it's only cash. Or I asked, hey, do you guys accept tap? Some did, but for the most part, they were like, no, it's all cash. So even if you're bringing cash, I just definitely recommend that you bring small bills. Don't go out there with $100 bill. It may take a while for them to find some change to cash it. Not saying that they can't, but it would be a little bit easier for the shopkeepers just to have like, a 10 or a 5 or something like that, just to be able to exchange that really fast. So definitely make sure you take cash and small bills.
And I will say along with that too, it's easier if you have small bills to negotiate the price. If you've gone out there with 20s and like, oh, can I get it for 10? They can be like, no, give me 15, but if you pull out with a 10 or a 5, they're more likely to be like, okay, so that's what we did. And I can't remember, I think the restaurant also took cash. So we used a lot of our cash at the restaurant, and then we were like, oh, when we did want our souvenir, stuff like that. So again, just bring cash. And also when we were there, it's good to have cash because the lights went out. We had no power.
That is right. I forgot
if we didn't have cash, we would have been stuck, So again, bring some cash with you. But you don't have to have pesos.
Yeah, I would say too, and that was one thing that we asked, even though there was a major outage that happened in Cancun that just went across like the whole of Mexico and the peninsula, or the Yucatan Peninsula. There we go. But we did ask the shopkeepers, and they said, power does go out here occasionally here and there. So that's something just to keep in mind. If you're there and the power goes out, it's not something that's uncommon. To be totally honest with you, the shopkeepers, they just kind of like open up the doors, or they were like, all right, well, time to leave for the day. I was like, hey, where's everybody going? He's like, oh, no, it's, the power's out. We're not too sure when it's going to come back. We're going home. So I was like, man, all right, that's nice.
But make sure you get that golf cart back.
Yeah, Get the golf cart back. Get it back.
All right, number 9.
You touched on this already.
Did it feel safe?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like we felt really safe walking around. The locals were so helpful. Like when we were trying to find areas to park the golf cart, we were kind of nervous because we're like, we have our license. This is in our name. What if someone hits it? And they were like, just park over here and keep it moving. You know, they were really, really nice. This one man, we just struck up a conversation and we were just talking. He was just so friendly. So everybody's really nice. No one's bothering you. No one's asking you for money. No one's asking you for anything. They're not on the beach. Like we didn't see anybody on the beach selling anything. It was just really laid back and just a relaxed time. So we felt completely safe. Even driving around with the golf cart.
Yeah, I was about to say, even with that, like again, we mentioned it earlier, and one of these tips was to go around on a golf cart, like explore. Just don't go on the main strip or just go to the beach and back. Like literally go and explore. We had a great time, like just driving past the ferry port onto the other side, where we saw one of the army bases out there. We saw the individuals out there that they were actually working out. We did see some people, I believe, were dolphin spotting. But again, it was just laid back when we got to the other side. It was actually pretty cool. We actually wish we had more time.
Oh my
totally
gosh.
honest, because again, we didn't go as far as we wanted to because we had to make it back. So.
Yeah, we had to make it back. And it's one of those places where I wish we would have stayed one night, you know, that we did see when we were riding around the golf cart. There was like little hotels that you could stay in and stuff like that. So that might be something worth looking at. How much would it be to rent a hotel there and stay a night and just bring a bag, because it's absolutely beautiful.
It is beautiful.
All right, number 10.
Number 10, and the last tip that we actually have, and that is to make sure, and I want to stress, to make sure that you know the last ferry time and do not miss the last ferry.
Don't miss it. Unless you're going to stay the night.
You're
I mean, hey, if you, it's beautiful. Like I wouldn't mind staying the night, but if you don't have no clothes, you might not want to miss it.
Go to the shop and get some clothes.
You can.
But that was one thing that they stressed to us when we were buying the tickets. They said, hey, just make sure you check your last time. The ferries leave at this time. I mean, they kept like pretty much hammering it into our head when we were on the boat. Say, hey, you know, the last ferry leaves at this time. And also the shopkeepers let you know that as well, especially with the golf cart attendant. He said, hey, just make sure that you're here. I think he said an hour before or
no, it was like half an hour before.
Half an hour before the last ferry leaves, because number one, they want to pack up. Number two, they want to make sure that you get on the ferry. And number three, just to make sure that, you know, you don't have a bad experience while you're there saying that you missed the ferry and, you know, you're trying to blame everybody.
Yeah,
so,
because it's not like they can't tell between who's staying on the island and who's not.
Yeah.
Because, again, there are hotels there. So they don't know all these people are not staying on the island. So you do have to get on that ferry. Now, I will say the line does get long for the ferry.
It does.
So pack some patience there. When you get back, this is kind of another tip, number 11. When you get back.
Bonus.
Yeah, a bonus tip. When you get back, make sure that you have connect to the Wi-Fi, because you're going to need to book an Uber or something back.
Yeah.
We did have the hardest time getting an Uber back. The prices are the prices. So it is going to be more, it was more expensive for us to leave to go back to our hotel than it actually was to get over there. So don't get alarmed when you get back and you're like, oh, I'm trying to book a Uber and they're telling you $20, $30 to get back. It is more expensive. So just, you're going to have to pay it. And then you take your Uber back.
Correct.
But we did have there is a spot. So when you walk out, there's like a Uber stand there, and they have the prices listed with your hotel. So you find the hotel, the price is the price.
Yeah.
They are not trying to negotiate with you.
No.
They're not trying to like hammer. No, you're just gonna pay. They have it right there. Just pay the price and keep it moving.
Now, I would say one thing, according to like the price coming back, there was a possibility of a rate surge due to the fact that all the lights were out in Cancun. So we did ask a non-Uber taxi driver, and his price was astronomical.
Yeah, we were like, sir,
no, we're going to wait.
Yeah.
So eventually our Uber driver got there, and he explained, like, look, you know, it's everything right now. This is the price that it is. Very sweet guy. But, you know, we were just prepared for it because we understood what was going on. But we would love to know in the comments when this does get reposted, did you guys ever find that the Uber was a little bit more when you guys left the ferry terminal headed back to the hotel or the resort zone? We're just curious because we would love to know that.
Yeah, and there is a possibility, like you can walk out of where you are. So like when you get back in, you're kind of like on this underground like parking garage, and that's where the Uber stand is. We did call, like Jason said, we did call for an Uber. The price was a lot cheaper than the stand.
Yeah.
However, because it was so much traffic, we ended up up paying the price there. However, if you go out and you walk down a little bit, I'm pretty sure you can get a price that's a lot less expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But we had kids and they were tired. We were done. So we were like, whatever.
Yeah. So
but hopefully this is helpful for you guys.
Yes, definitely. What we'll make sure to do on the repost as far as when this actually posts is link the video that we actually went to Isla Mujeres, so you guys could actually check it out firsthand to see all the things that we were actually able to do. Some funny golf cart stuff on there as well.
Yeah. But it's so pretty. If you have the chance, like I wish we would have went more than once. Like I wish we would have went early in our trip because it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. So.
So pretty.
I know. So again, guys, thank you so much. I'm hitting the mic. Thank you so much for checking in. Hopefully this was helpful. We'll check you on the next one.